Hi, hi. This is Trepacer. Welcome to Trepacer's Saturday reviews, um, Saturday horror reviews. Um, I've been lately watching Vincent Price movies, which uh, a lot of them are Roger Corman films, and I have another Roger Corman film. And ironically, this one is not with Vincent Price in it, because at the time this was filmed, Vincent Price was under contract, and this was a film that Edgar Allan Poe tale that Roger Corman wanted to film independently of AIP. And so he couldn't use Vincent Price, so he stepped in and got another great actor, Ray Milland. And of course, I'm talking about, I think this is 19, hold on, let me just double check this. Yeah, 1962, yeah, 1962's The Premature Burial, of course, based on the Edgar Allan Poe short tale. And of course, this is stars Ray Milland, Hazel Court. This is, and I think the guy Alan Napier is in this. Hazel Court, I said, Richard Ney, Heather Angel, and basically this is the story of an artist who's named character named Guy Carell, played by Ray Milland, who's an artist, and he has this irrational fear of being buried alive. I mean, because literally when his father was when he was I think around 13, his father, you know, had a heart attack and they declared him dead, and he got put in the crypt. And Guy could swore that he heard his father screaming, and he said he tried to tell anybody that would listen that I hear my father, and they of course ignored him. Okay, and then of course later when they actually dug him up, they saw supposedly he saw scratch marks. So he has ever since then he has a rational fear of being buried alive. Okay, and at the beginning of the movie you see Emily Galt. She comes. She's an old love of his, and he's written her a letter basically telling her that he can't marry her, and he wants to be left alone. And of course, she comes to see him to try to figure out what's going on. Why is he rejecting her? And of course, he tells her the story about his father, and of course he lives also with his sister, Kate, who's basically telling him that no, that didn't happen. Our father was dead, and Guy just has this, he has this irrational fear of being buried alive, of course. And he has a friend named Miles Archer, who's a medical student, who basically he's kind of trying to, like an upcoming medical student. He's kind of advanced for his time because he's experimenting on things and trying to figure out this figures that I think he even makes a statement in the movie about someday people will discover there'll be a doctor for the mind, of course. And of course uh, Ray Milland's character Guy, he actually relents after a bit of persuasion from Emily to marry her, and to give up, and to not be so afraid. And she tells him that she loves him, and of course he loves her, and says let's get married. I love you, and give up this irrational fear. And he goes ahead because he's afraid to lose her, so he goes ahead and marries her. And of course then he starts having these again these kind of episodes where he hears this whistling, that whistling you heard me do in the beginning, that tune from the grave robbers that actually dug up his father's grave. He hears that, and of course he starts having delusions of hearing things, and of course, like I said, it brings back his irrational fear of being prematurely buried alive, of course. So he takes steps to ensure that that won't happen. Actually, he actually builds himself a mausoleum tomb with all these kind of escape-proof items to actually get out in case he accidentally gets buried alive. Okay, and of course he still has, even after he does that, he has another episode where he passes out and has a living nightmare of not being able to get out of this tomb that he built. And of course his wife is worried about him, his friend is worried about him, of course, and she kind of gives him a demand and tells him, listen, you're gonna have to either give up this fear of this, destroy that tomb and give up that fear, and and live life with me, okay, and give up that fear. It's just a thing in your mind. Give it up, okay. And he of course relents again, and decides to live life and have a party and stuff. But then again, and that's where I want to leave the description, because the things that happen after that are kind of spoilerific, okay. But I absolutely love this movie. Like I said, I saw this years ago, I think, on TV, and I absolutely love this this tale, this Poe tale of Premature Burial. And Ray Milland is a large part of it, because I think he's great as Guy Pearl, is a guy that has this irrational fear of being buried alive. and it's really real, and you can see, he really gives it all, and you really feel for him that he's having this condition, and nobody believes him when he has these episodes. That he's hear things, he sees things, and of course he has this this fear of being buried alive, and of course the people around him are think he's losing his mind, and this, he's like trying to plead with them. Listen, this is real to me, and it's just a great tale. In the atmosphere, you have a lot of graveyard scenes and nice foggy atmosphere in this movie, which is great. Another great job by Roger Corman in this, and again, good support by Hazel Court as his wife Emily, who's struggling to try to understand him and help him get over this fear, and of course Richard Ney, who plays his friend Miles Archer, who tries to to actually involve modern medicine, or for that time, I guess, or advanced medicine for that time, to tell him that it's all in his mind, that you have to get over this, okay, and and it's just really, really good. And then you have, I guess, Heather Angel, who plays his sister Kate, who's trying to be supportive of him, and it's just a great, great tale. And I love it. Like I said, it's just full of atmosphere. The whole, like I said, large part of the scenes take place, around the graveyard and crypts in it. So that's, it leads to the great air of the story, and it gives it a heightened sense. And like I said, and Ray Milland, again, he's the one that makes the movie, because he just has this fear, and you feel for him, and you hope that he can get over this and figure out what's really happening, to him, and why he's having these episodes. And it's just a really, really good tale. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna give the Premature Burial an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's one of Roger Corman's best adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe's stories, and just I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, let me know what you think of the Premature Burial. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long, and take care.